Hello everyone and welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. I still have got a little bit of a sore throat, so please sort of just excuse my voice at the moment. I want to show you a Christmas card that I'm getting ready for one of my classes next week. And I haven't used it before. This is one that's in the main catalogue and it's the Stylish Christmas set. And it is a red rubber set. And I'm thinking that this swirly piece you can use on any season's card, and probably the flower too. Stamped in different colours, I think that would be quite pretty. But I'm going to make a card that almost looks like a hanging card today. So this is the set we're using, and I've chosen for my colour Cherry Cobbler. I think this is a pretty Christmas red. It's not that bright in your face red. It's almost like a traditional colour red, and it is really pretty. So it's just a normal piece of card cut in half. This is 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4 and then folded it. And then from the Dashing Along paper, remember this was on promotion a little while back. I'm not sure if we can still get it. It was just a set that was Cherry Cobbler on garden green, and you got 4 sheets of each design. And I've chosen the design that has the little flowers on, but sort of the paisley wallpaper-ish paper. And I've cut it exactly the same size as the front, so that it covers the whole of the front up. Now, in actual fact, if you don't want to cut it that big, you don't have to. You could leave a little piece at the top, because we're going to cover it with another piece of card. But just to show you, it was easier to cut it the same size. And then I'm just going to attach it to the front. This is one of those really easy cards that people look at and are not quite sure, how did you make that? And it really is easy. So we'll just line it up across there. Doesn't matter if it's not quite straight, you can always trim it with your scissors. Okay, so there we go. Now for the front, I'm going to use this. I tried it with the Cherry Cobbler, but it was too much alike. So what I went for in the end was the lovely lipstick, because although it blended in, it was still a nice contrast, if that makes sense. So let me get the piece of card. And this is how I've stamped it. So I stamped it once, and then I didn't re-ink, I just stamped again here. But I did have a little piece of paper, oh here we are. I stamped it once on just a piece of paper so that I could use this as a mask. So I stamped here, and then I covered it over with the little piece of paper and stamped the stamp again here. And it looks like 2 different colours, and that's what I was aiming for. And now I want to put some leaves on. So I've got the garden green and the leaves from the Stylish Christmas set, which are these holly leaves. And I just get a little piece of paper to rest on. I'm just going to stamp with the green, and because I'm going to go over the edge, that's why I just put a piece of paper down, so I don't get a lot of ink on my papers on my desk or anything. Okay, so there's one there. Oh, I've got a little tiny boo-boo there, but I will rub that off with my eraser. And I want to put one up here, but I'm not quite sure how far down to go, so I'm going to use my little piece of paper again. Oops, I'm only holding it on. If you want it to stick on, you could use like a little post-it note or something. And then I'm just going to stamp over there like that. And then you see it looks like it's coming from behind on here. And I'm going to put just another one down here. I'm going to cover it up again, like this. Let's see, just turn that round. Turn it round a bit more, I think. There. And that's all I'm going to do for the stamping at the moment. So I'll just clean this. I've left my chamois just soaking at the moment. It was a bit dry and it takes a little while for the water to soak back into it. So I haven't got my chamois ready. Okay. Now for this piece, we're going to put it at the top of the card on an angle, and we need to cover these two corners. So position it sort of where you like it. You can use a bigger piece of card, that makes it a little bit easier if it's wider. You can get better angles and things, but I think I'm going to have it just like that. And what I'm going to do is just take my pencil. I'm just going to make a tiny little mark here to show me where the edge is going to be. And then I'm going to turn it over. You can see I already stamped once on there and changed my mind. I'm just going to turn it over there. And where is it? Up here, just here. And I'm going to use adhesive strips for this to attach it. And these little lines just show me how high up the card to put the strips. I know we'll need one for the very top, so for that one I'm just putting it along the top of the card. And then for the next ones I'm going to put it on the layer itself. So I'm going to put one across the bottom first. Don't worry if it doesn't go right to the edge, it doesn't matter. You can always fill in, or you can just have a little gap there. It will still stand off the card. And although this measurement isn't 100% precise, it will give you a better idea of just where to put the strips. Oh, that was just the right length there, look. That was lucky. Okay, so I'm just going to hold it up, check that it's going to be okay. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so now I'm going to take the paper off. I think these cards just look a little bit different, just because the front is sort of angled. So then I'm just going to sort of try and work out where I need to stick that. Looks like in there. There we are. And then I'm just going to turn my card over, and you'll see that some of the sticky isn't attached to the card, but that's fine. We don't need it to be. And then I'm just going to trim across with my paper snips. Or if you want, you can, you can use bigger scissors if you feel happier using bigger scissors. And I'm going to cut right through that sticky as well on here. There we go. Take it off there. And there's just a little tiny bit there that I need to cut. Just the tiniest little whisker. There we are. There. Now it looks like it is 3D, and it looks like a little hanging card. And I have got my eraser ready for that little tiny green bit there. Okay, and then I'm going to attach some of the little metallic pearls. You get gold and silver in the same pack. I'm just going to use the gold ones just for the inside of the flower, the poinsettia. You could use rhinestones, you could use pearls and colour them. There's lots of options. If you just wanted to colour them with your blends or your pens, that would work as well. Oh, where did that one go? I have a nasty habit of losing these and then finding them a couple of days later, stuck on the end of my shoe or under my husband's slipper. There we go. Just put in 3 on each of those. There we are. And then for a sentiment, what I've done is I've used a different set. I've used this Flourish Filigree, and this is a set that I've only just got. It arrived yesterday, and I liked this Happy Christmas Wishes. So it works with our punch as well. So what I've done is I just punched a piece out to work out if, you know, that was going to be sort of the right kind of size, and I felt it was. So here in the lovely lipstick again, I've just stamped the Happy Christmas wishes, and I'm just going to cut it out. Let me go this way so you can see a little bit better. My hand's not in the way. Just line it up. And I'm going to put this on little dimensions as well. You could just glue it down, but I think it would be nice just raised up a little bit, the same as the picture. And just pop in 2 on the back. Someone asked me about the sizings of the dimensionals that I use. Not the size of the dimensionals themselves, but just the piece that they come on. Because they said they were different to the ones they've got from the catalogue. These are actually out of Paper Pumpkin sets, and I tend to sort of just keep them and use those as well. This size is from the actual ones that you get from the catalogue. So you can see why they were wondering how I had different sizes, but it is just from Paper Pumpkin. And it's like the glue dots as well. For Paper Pumpkin, they send them on a sheet, not on a roll. So you have to take the sticky off that side, and it's adhesive underneath as well. I like the roll better, but otherwise I end up with lots and lots of these. And, you know, you have to use them, don't you? Have to use them up. Okay, so let's put this just over to the side. Oops, wobbly fingers. There we are. And then inside, I cut a piece of white card, just 1/4 inch smaller. So it was 5 1/4 by 4. And I used this filigree kind of flourish. What you could do is stamp. Let's pretend this is a stamp and not a cutout. Stamp inside. But I've just done the filigree. I'm just going to pop that inside. And then I'll show you why I cut that other piece out. There we go. I'm going to put it that way around. And you can see my DSP just overhangs a little bit, so I will cut that off as well. When I was making this, I wasn't quite sure whether to have it flat or to have a piece raised up on here. And I do like the raised piece, but I just wasn't sure how much difference it would make for postage. It still does fit in one of our envelopes. In fact, I'll show you how it fits. So let's just pop these off. Can always just go back and put them back on again later. Okay, and then I'll just put a couple of little dimensionals on here. I didn't want to make it too many layers and too thick. And for my class, I'm not quite sure of the stamping levels of people, whether they've stamped before or not. So I wasn't sure whether to do it as another layer either. But it's quite nice as a 3D layer there. Let's just pop these on. Gives it even more dimension. What you could do as well is use your Wink of Stella or your glimmer paint and paint over that so it would stick out even more. But I think that's a really pretty card and a little bit different as well. So I hope you enjoyed watching that and that you'll give that a go. As I said, you can use with any of our flowers. I've seen some made with the Delightful Daisy punch and flowers, and that looked really pretty. But just for Christmas, I think that's a super one. Thanks ever so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you again soon, and hopefully my voice will be better by then. Take care. Bye-bye.